Hey guys, it's Caleb coming at you with another Sometimes Devo. Today we're going to continue Proverbs 3, Proverbs 3 part 2. So let's see where this brings us. It should be fun. So it says, starting at, chapter 3 verse 13. Happy is a man who finds wisdom and who requires understanding. For she is more profitable than silver, and her revenue is better than gold. She is more precious than jewels. Nothing you desire can equal her. Long life is in her right hand, in her left riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant, and all her paths peaceful. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her, and to those who hold on to her are happy. So at the beginning it says, happy is a man who finds wisdom and who acquires understanding. So if we, by acquire wisdom, we can't get that on our own. Only God can give that to us. And it's not just, guys aren't the only ones who require wisdom. Girls can get wisdom too. If any girls are watching this, you can definitely have wisdom. It just says man because Solomon is a man. Solomon is the author right here of this book in the Bible. And it says, for she is more profitable than silver, and her revenue better than gold. So the way I'm getting this part right here, where it's always talking about the she, in her long life is in her right hand, in her left riches and honor, her ways are pleasant, all that. The way I see that is that it would be my future wife, or the woman God intends for me. Or for girls, it would be the guy God intends for you. Now, I don't know if that's like totally fact. This is just the way I kind of take it. So, I mean, that everything in that's what I see. So let's pick it up at verse 19. It says, the Lord founded the earth by wisdom and established the heavens by understanding. By his knowledge and watery depths broke open. The clouds dripped with dew. Maintain sound wisdom and discretion. My son, don't lose sight of them. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I know there's only 3 verses, but it's kind of like a lot of 3 verses. So the Lord founded the earth by wisdom and established the heavens by understanding. So he created everything in the earth. So the ground, the grass, the rocks, the mountains, which is just a big rock, the water, there's salt water, there's fresh water, there is, streams, there's seas, there's rivers, there is islands, there is big land masses, little land masses, all the animals, all the birds, and you, and me. People too, which is what we are. At least I'm pretty sure I'm a person. And it says he established the heavens by understanding. Now, I want you to see that it says heavens, plural, S, with an S at the end, heavens. And so, the heavens, it's not just heaven that we think of with the capital H, heaven as in when we, as Christians, die one day, we will go to heaven, or if we're called up by God himself. That is heaven, but there's also another heaven we call the sky. The sky, the blue part where the clouds are and the birds fly and the planes and jets and skydiving people go. That is the sky, and that is a heaven. It is a vast space. And then I know there's 3 heavens, and I think the other one is like space where the stars are and the other planets. I'm Not for sure on that though. And then it says, by his knowledge the watery depths broke open. So what I think that means, and the clouds dripped with dew. So that means the clouds rained, like there was rain clouds, and the watery depths broke open. I'm pretty sure those are those hot water spots where water gushes out of the bottom, or where the underwater flow burst forth. And it says, maintain sound wisdom and discretion, my son. Don't lose sight of them. Let's change it to this. Maintain sound and wisdom and discretion, my daughter. Do not lose sight of them. My son or my daughter. Maintain sound wisdom and discretion. So, sound wisdom, what is that? I hear a bird twerping and I know it's a bird. No, that's not sound wisdom. That's just sound. Sound wisdom is, it doesn't mean sound like something you hear. What sound wisdom is meaning is something you know is true. Something that you know cannot be in the wrong, in evil, in any way. And what I mean by in the wrong or completely right, it means it has to line up with what God wants, whatever that may be. And then, where was I? Discretion. Maintain discretion. Discretion, it means like kind of holding back a little bit, like, okay, we'll talk about this later in private, like, say I wanted a last piece of cake, and I knew I was allowed to, but I didn't want my little siblings or friends to know that I was eating the last piece of cake, even though I knew I was allowed to. I just needed to do it discreetly. I needed to do it privately. I needed to do it secluded to where no one else knew that I was doing it, but I knew I could do it because it was correct, it was right, I had permission, but I did it discreetly so that I didn't disrupt the peace. I didn't cause a riot because, well, Johnny didn't get that piece of cake. Why didn't you split it into thirds? We could split it into a whole lot of little itty bitty cubes who could have all shared. But I was allowed to have it all, so I did it discreetly. That's about the best weird example I could give you. And then starting out at verse 22, it says, they will be life for you, the adornment for your neck. Then you will go safely on your way. Your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. You will lie down, and your sleep will be pleasant. Don't fear sudden danger, or ruin of the wicked when it comes. For the Lord will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from a snare. So, it says, they will be life for you. So everything that we said up till now, maintain sound wisdom and discretion, and everything about, like she is that, she is this, she is that, she is this, in the watery depths, and God created the heavens and the earth with wisdom and knowledge. All of that, it's saying it will be life for you, an adornment for your neck. I think an adornment is like a necklace or like a jewel. I don't actually know what adornment means. If you know, put it in the comments. That is something you can do. There's your homework. There's your project. Haha. I can give you a project if you're watching this. And then it says, you will go safely on your way. Your foot will not stumble. Some of you may be clumsy. I definitely am. I am one of the biggest clumsy klutzes in the world. I don't know how many times I've been to the doctor and the specialist and the ER and the emergency clinic. I've never been to the actual family doctor. I don't know if that's normal. Anyway, I know I stumble a lot, but what this means is spiritually. Spiritually, you will not stumble. And when you lie down, you will not be afraid. And you will lie down and you'll sleep very pleasantly. If you have insomnia like I do, you don't sleep pleasantly very often, do you? No, we don't. We don't. But what it means spiritually. Spiritually, we will lie down. Spiritually, we will rest in Jesus, and spiritually it'll be pleasant for us when we worship our Creator, when we worship Jesus Christ, either on Sunday in the worship service, or on Wednesday at youth, or in Awanas, or whatever else you do, or at home. You can worship at home. I highly suggest doing it. You don't have to use music. You can pray, and it's pleasant. It's pleasing for your soul. And so then it says, do not fear sudden danger, or the ruin of the wicked when it comes. Sudden danger, that means, you know, there are hills in our lives and there are valleys in our lives. Can't go below the screen. And so say, little Johnny's up here and the valley's down here and you're right here, but there's a cliff right there. So you're right here, or Johnny's right here, Lucille's right here, and they go, doo, doo, doo. Whoa. And it's in life. And it's not that you did anything, it's just life. We have hills and valleys in our lives. And then we're in that valley, and it's a sudden danger. But it's saying, don't fear it, because God is always with you. Just look up. And it says, or the ruin when it comes. Don't fear the ruin of the wicked when it comes. And ruin of the wicked, that means after the valley, after we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, whatever valley that may be, we will have some impression of that time frame on our lives. Like every time we get a trophy or a ribbon for participating, I guess, or even when we go from, if you're in sports, you go from, you get district and then you get states and then maybe even nationals and you win. That's something you will always remember. You usually remember the bad stuff too. And it's saying, don't fear the ruin. Forget it. Put it in the past where it belongs. Yeah, you got scarred, you got hurt, but it's okay. It wasn't your fault. And if it was your fault, there's forgiveness and redemption in that. And so then on verse 26, the last verse I will read is, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from a snare, or any snare. So for the Lord will be your confidence. You can have confidence in the Lord. You don't put your confidence in man or in your parents or in anything else or in your own masculinity or athletic self. It doesn't matter. Your parents are good. May be good. You may be good. You may be completely awesome. That's all cool. But it's the Lord that will be your confidence, which may be through other people. And it says, and it will keep your foot from a snare or any snare. I'm going to say any snare because a snare, it sounds kind of weird. Any snare, that means it just kind of brings the idea that he will protect you from any snare. No matter what the devil tries to throw at you, you can see that snare. You can even be caught by the snare and you say, yo, I got Jesus on my side. Satan, get out of here. So, as always, highlighting, writing in your journal, underlining, whatever you want to do, I think you should know, I underline. And so, what are we going to underline today? You underline what you want as usual. I am going to underline verse 19. For the Lord founded the earth by wisdom and established the heavens by understanding. And I'm going to do, I'm going to do verse 13 too. Happy is the man who finds wisdom and who acquires understanding. And I'm going to do verse 25, don't fear sudden danger or ruin of the wicked when it comes. And then 26, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from any snare. So that was the end of part 2. We just did part 2. I didn't do a video last week because I was sick. Like, I couldn't talk without coughing. So I think you'll understand, because then it really wouldn't have been a video. It would have been like, and yeah, no, we're not doing that. Don't ask me to do that. I was sick last week. I'm sorry I couldn't do a video, but I got one out to you today, and I will have one out to you next week unless I am sick or in the hospital for some reason. You guys are awesome. Jesus today, Jesus tomorrow, Jesus forever. Have fun.